The Phantom is a 1996 action-adventure flick written by Lee Falk and Jeffrey Boehm, directed by Simon Wincer, and starring a whole smorgasbord of great actors. Billy Zane, Treat Williams, James Ajax Remmer, Christy Swanson and Catherine Zeta-Jones, Double Rao, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, and number 6 himself, Patrick McGoohan. Wow, what a cast! The movie is based on the pulp comic strip created by Lee Falk back in 1936, which ran until 1999. 63 years is a run, boy. Our story begins with a flashback to the 1700s, where a ship has been boarded by the dreaded pirates, the Sang brothers. After a young boy watches in horror as his father is cut down by the pirates, he throws himself overboard and washes up on a nearby island. The natives take the boy back to their village and there conduct a ceremony, bestowing upon him the mantle of the Phantom, the seemingly immortal protector of the land and fighter of all piracy and wrongdoing. Fast forward to 1938, and a bunch of tomb robbers have stolen a mysterious silver skull for their benefactor, the evil Xander Drax. If you name your kid Xander Drax, he pretty much has no choice but to go into the villain biz, come on. The Phantom is alerted to the theft and gives chase, but is too late and the goons make off with their prize. Now the Phantom must track down the thieves and reclaim the skull, one of 3 that, if joined together, will grant their owner immeasurable power. Now, a funny thing about The Phantom, I used to own this movie on VHS back in the day. I tried to watch it at least 3 or 4 times, and every time I fell asleep. So, I got it in my head that this must have been a really boring movie, otherwise I'd be able to stay awake, right? The more likely problem was I was in the habit of starting movies way too late, and like any good teenager, I never got enough sleep. But from then until now, I figured this movie was a snoozer and just gave up on it. So I decided to finally give it another shot, and hot damn, this movie is pure dynamite. From Jump Street, we get a pirate attack, death by jungle mummy, a sweet chase scene full of awesome stunts, and all in the first 10 to 15 minutes, and it just gets wilder from there. Thrilling action, beautiful women, exotic locations. This movie's got it all and in spades. The Phantom released in 1996 near the end of a pretty concentrated era of other movies featuring pulp or pulp-type characters. You had 1989's Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the last Indiana Jones movie ever made, and Batman. I think it's easy to forget sometimes that Batman was created as a pulp-type hero who fights more street-level villains and not cosmic alien gods. He's a detective, for crying out loud, not DC's version of Iron Man, which is how he seems to be treated nowadays. Anyway, you also had 1990's Dick Tracy, 91's The Rocketeer, 94's The Shadow, and likely a few others I'm leaving out. 98's Zorro and 99's The Mummy would be the last of these types of movies for a little while, at least from major studios. Not counting the Mummy sequels, I guess, but then again, I never count those anyway. Now, I love these types of heroes because they have to rely more on keen wits, sharp eyes, and a well-oiled 45 rather than fantastic superpowers. The dangers feel more dangerous, the perils more perilous, and the victories more victorious. Plus, there's usually an element of the weird involved, and that's my jam, baby. The Phantom's story and dialogue are perfect for a movie like this. It's a fun, light-hearted adventure, and it never aspires to be anything more than that. And damn it, that's refreshing. There's no moral grayness or grand messaging. It's all good guys and bad guys, right versus wrong. It's briskly paced and never bogs down. It just moves. The cast and characters are fantastic. Billy Zane is the eponymous Phantom. He's handsome and charming as his alter ego Kit Walker, and when it's time for action, he's completely believable as the ghost who walks. He's also the straight man of this film, not just because he's the goody-goody good guy, but because he shares the screen with some of the best scenery-chewing performances ever, from Catherine Zeta-Jones as Sala, the beautiful leader of a group of sexy lady air pirates, hell yeah, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Pirate Lord the Great Kabai Singh, and especially Treat Williams just hamming it up as the mustache-twirlingly evil Xander Drax. Rounding it out, we have the great James Dexter's dad Remmer Palmer as Drax's thug Quill, and the legend Patrick Longshanks McGowan as Kit's father. A little side tangent real quick, because this has been a major problem with modern Hollywood movies, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. When was it that Hollywood just gave up on female characters? Is there a zero moment, as it were, where everything changed in an instant, or was it gradual? Something changed though, and now it feels so rare to see a really cool female character anymore. And here, in this movie, you have two beautiful women who are cool and feminine. Kristy Swanson as Diana Palmer is the pretty rich girl tomboy who'd rather get her nails dirty than her nails done. She's confident and capable without being an insufferable girl boss. Imagine that. Catherine Zeta-Jones, as mentioned earlier, is the captain of a squadron of sexy lady air pirates. Now, I don't want to keep using the same synonyms for beautiful, so let's call her pulchritudinous. Yeah, that's got a flattering ring to it. She's pulchritudinous, and she knows it, and she uses it. She's sexy, dangerous, and just a blast to watch. Hollywood movies used to have chicks like this, and they raised the property value of any movie they were in. Why'd they stop? Hey Hollywood, you know what? Screw Hollywood. Hey filmmakers, how about more fun, sexy, dangerous femme fatales? Pretty please with sugar on top if it's not too much trouble. Anyway, everyone is having an absolute blast with their roles, especially the villains. And they've got some of the best lines ever written.
The Phantom helped Diana to escape. I think he's in love with her.
Oh, really? This is getting more interesting by the minute. Why do you say that?
Because he could have had me. But he picked her. That can only be love.
Silence! You have no bargaining power with me, Mr. New York City. I could kill you and feed your pretty pink ass to the sharks.
Simon Wincer's directing is fantastic. Everything, especially the action, is framed just right so you can see exactly what's going on. Either this was before that old villain shaky cam reared its ugly head, or he just resisted jumping on that bandwagon. Either way, it looks fantastic. It's not showy or artsy, and that is refreshing sometimes. He also directed the excellent Quigley Down Under, which, hey, wouldn't you know it, I did a review for. It's up there in the top right corner. Imagine that. There is some phenomenal stunt work in this movie too. Holy crap. You have horse stunts, truck stunts, motorcycle stunts, airplane stunts, pirate ship stunts. Boy, the insurance company must have been sweating this one. I have just a couple teeny tiny weeny whiny little nitpicks about the Phantom. First, one character switching sides about 2/3 of the way through the movie is just a little too quick and easy and should have been built up to a bit better. And second, the Phantom spoils you with so many great villains that it's probably too many and some don't get enough fleshing out. Maybe they should have cut one, but which one? The sexy lady air pirates? The great Kabai Singh and his ancient pirate brethren? I guess you could say that the evil businessman trope has been done a million times, so you might think, hey, Drax is the easy choice, get rid of him. But then you see Treat Williams' performance and...
Okay, Ray, that's how you feel about it. Ow! Whoa! The old bursitis is really flaring up again.
You can't cut that! Ugh, they're all awesome, and I'd watch a movie where any one of these factions was the main bad guys, but they're all crammed into one movie here, and as such, you don't see either the sexy lady air pirates or Kabai Singh as much as you want to. It's a bit of a bummer, but I guess it's a good problem to have because they still rule. But those gripes are really small potatoes when a movie is this much fun. The Phantom currently sits at a 5.1 on IMDb, which is criminal. I mean, I've reviewed a few movies which have low ratings that I understand. They're kind of weird and not for everyone, but what kind of anti-fun wet blanket gives this movie a low score? Based on the script and direction alone, The Phantom is easily a 7, but when you factor in the awesome performances, it's an 8 all day long. Also, we all know you can't always trust the ratings anyway. I mean, all these movies and shows have higher ratings, but no one actually watches them. So, what does that tell you? Look, you'll enjoy The Phantom at least as much, if not more than any of those, and you'll probably actually watch it again someday. I doubt you can say that about any of this dreck. The Phantom is a movie that has something for everyone, unless you hate fun, and it would make a great family movie night. It's available to rent on all the streaming platforms, so order a pizza, pop some popcorn, put on The Phantom, and go back to those halcyon days when Hollywood still knew how to have a good time. Thank you all so much for watching. Adios, and slam evil! That 90s villain shaky cam.